Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's broadcast of Lansdowne Rugby Football Club. I won't be commentating on this because I don't really have that strong of a rugby knowledge to naturally churn out the terms and whatnot. I mean, it's not like I've watched games all my life like I have some other sports, so it doesn't look like anybody's stepping up to do that for me, so you might have to go with just hearing the natural noises. But Lansdowne today, not able to win the title outright, and I have to settle for second place. But with second place comes with a lot of potential promises. You just never know. So going as runner-up is always a huge thing to gun for. So we'll see how that goes. Long Island sitting at the bottom of the table. I don't think there's really relegation for these things, but there were some forfeited games, so they probably will have to be relegated to the third division. So they'll be playing for pride today. It's a very beautiful venue out in Oyster Bay. I think the village of Bayville. Nice view of the water out there. Luckily, you don't have to use the elevated pole today. I was actually never really a fan of it. It's just a tool because there's a lack of press boxes in these venues. But luckily, Oyster Bay has a bit hooked up with some sort of a press box. So everybody showed up a bit late, meaning there will be some leeway with kicking off a little bit later than the normal. So we'll can't really give a set time for it, but we'll kick off when you see it kick off. That's all I can say. Don't tune away, or I guess without the commentary, just look for the noises that indicate that the match is on. So until then, I hope you guys enjoy the match. Take care.
Check you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? George, can you hear me? Okay, great. So we'll stay online. I'll let you know about subs. Keep me communicated if Luke's got any injuries or something wants me to talk. All right, thanks, man.
I think, like, aside, obviously you have the broken down, but also the fascination that Americans have with an English accent made it.
Yeah. Yeah. Hello again, it's Charlie Bedford here in the last game of the season against Long Island. Lansdowne are taking on Long Island, and it's already, I think, 5 minutes into the game, so just joining now after spending a bit of time with the boys. Just a couple of changes this week with George Reese not being on, yeah, we've got Edgar and Shane Kenny switching out as well. So yeah, it's been an early exchange where Long Island have maintained possession. Lansdowne have given away quite a few penalties, but now we've got possession again, and Alex Architect Griffin has made a good nudge up the field and is followed well by Luke and picked up by Nick Alexander. There's a bit of a scramble and the ref gives advantage to Lansdowne. Yeah, so that was a very good decision by the Architect. Okay, just getting some instructions here from Pat Murphy. As I mentioned last week, the Architect, he's not only an architect, but he also knows how to read the blueprint of the game very well. He's a very good decision maker, he's a very sharp thinker, so it's nice to have him at 9. A lot of competition in that position today. We've got 2 other 9s on the bench. Greg Alexander, who's a very good 9, little scrappy 9, good distributor, and also Pierce Butler, who's also another very good 9. So yeah, we've got a lot more depth in the backs today than we do in the forwards, missing Dominic Sophie and a couple of others, but I'm sure we'll go well today. Midfield scrum there, Luke digs it out, and going backwards. Long Island have been strong on the scrum. The refs played advantage and the ball's come to Long Island, and Eddie Ringler makes a double tackle with Hugh Byrne. The ball's available, but they leave it. Another pod set up, and Owen Murphy makes his usual tackle just on the gain line. It's a lot of blitzing there, and the fly half reads it and puts a grubber through, but again cleaned up by the Architect, who holds on to it, mops up the play. Lansdowne seem to have possession now. Dylan Casey with a little bit of a scramble. He had a good game last week, so hopefully he can maintain the momentum. We've got Edgar in. It's a good ball carrier, takes it there, gives us a couple of inches. And we've got numbers here. Long Island are narrow. Hugh Byrne gets the ball and nudges it into the corner, well, straight down the middle actually, which we want to try and avoid. But it's well chased by Dahi Murphy. So we've got 2 sets of brothers on the field today. The Murphy brothers, Owen and Dahi, and the Alexander brothers, Nick and Greg. The guy on the wing here making a good carry, and he's carried into touch by Fakundu finally, and Eddie. Let's settle! Lansdowne need to settle a bit today. The other change today has been Gerardo Febles is starting in at the hooker position. He came on and made a good impact last week, and he's taken over from Nick Guan, who's on the bench today. But he's been a very consistent club man, both of those men. Line out short. Ref calls for Long Island coming across the line. We're going to see what the decision here looks like. Hugh Byrne's going to step up. Actually, Geraldo Feblers and Edgar are the carriers, and they've made yards already, and he's made 10 meters there. Good carry from Edgar Perez. The ball's been slowed down. Architect demonstrates that he's not happy, and the ref gives it to him, so he takes a quick tap. And we've got numbers here. The ref doesn't want it that quick. He slows it down, but there was a 4-on-2 there. It would have been nice to have that quick tap. So that's what I like about Alex Griffin. He thinks very quickly. Hugh Byrne makes his play into the corner for us. We're about 10 meters out, so hopefully we can get a bit of structure and settle the nerves. Long Island are a very good team. Last game their captain didn't play. He had a loss in the family, and he's here today playing at number 10. They've got their number 4 who also plays prop. He's a very good man, good player, hard to tackle and bring down, but they've got a few strong ball carriers. Their scrum half today is also useful, and they're missing their usual fullback. I don't know his name. He's got a ponytail, but he's also quite useful. Luke with the peel, and then it's straight in the crash. Should be there. Frustrating. We got overload, and Geraldo Feblers is there, and he scores the try. Looks like Luke was actually on the try line, and he could have just dotted it down. But Lansdowne with a quick exchange. Geraldo Feblers making his impact known there with an early score and a good set piece from Lansdowne. Excellent play. Brendan Healy switches from the fly half position, his preferred position, to play at fullback today. He's a very good fly half for us. We've got a few options at fly half, so it's been a good competition this season between him and Dylan Casey. He's stepped into the fullback position today. Dylan had good momentum last week. Unfortunately for Healy, because of the first half hour at Buffalo, he didn't get much ball, but he steps up to make the kick here on what is a nice sunny day in Long Island with a bit of wind. Seems to have pulled it. The flag stayed down, so it's 5-0 Lansdowne. I've just been told by Pat Murphy that we are in the hometown of Teddy Roosevelt, the former president. I knew that part. It's very peaceful here. At least it will be if we can maintain the score. If we don't keep the lead, we might get a little bit rowdy in terms of me screaming up and down. Again, we're missing Richie Price today, our beloved commentator. I believe he's in Ireland, watching his young Munster. I'm not sure. Dahi with the carry, receive carry. He's met by the hooker of Long Island, cleaned out by Geraldo. Hugh's got plenty of time to make a nudge. He's got the wind against him, turns the winger, and that's well chased by Eddie Ringler. He shuts down the space. He slips the tackle, but the flag goes up. Eddie does very well to get the man in touch. Yeah, Eddie's a man that I have enjoyed. He's a club man. He's had a bit of a quiet season this season. Last season he had a blockbuster season, and he was with the team in some of our most difficult games when we travelled up to Buffalo with only 17 men, and those kind of moments help you recognise your players. We've got a set piece here, we've got a short line out, the hit throw's made, the pass is made, we've got the carriers in with Edgar, he makes the bus, it's well tackled, and we've got numbers. We give him the advantage, and number 10 comes offside quickly. Alex and Hugh hold up the ball. It's Hugh. Alex holds up the ball. We're right in front of the post, so we'll go to that corner again by the looks of things. Very good carry from Edgar. Hopefully the second half, as he gets momentum, he can get his hands free and look for an offload there. But the line out was good, the set piece was good, and Lansdowne aim for that corner again. The kick has not made touch, And Long Island have made a couple of steps, met by Dahi Murphy, slipped off a couple of tackles. Eddie drives him towards the sideline, and the winger pops it back into the other winger, and he's well thrown into the corner by Hugh Byrne. Ball's turned over, and Luke's going to run it through. Great turnover, great skill by the captain, Luke Russell, who also probably has the record for consecutive tries in a game. I think he scored 4 a few times in a game. And that probably has only been rivaled by Dominic Sophie, who also probably has scored 4 or is just shy of that. So yeah, it's great to see him and his men out there. It's looking confident today. On the bench we got Sean Corridon. He's been at the club for a short while, plays Gaelic football, so it kind of interferes with the season with us, but he's a very talented young man playing in the outside backs for us, and hopefully he can come out a bit more for Lansdowne. We're missing Rashid Perkins today, who's got an injury. Healy makes the kick this time, and it's straight down the middle, so the score is now 12-0 to Lansdowne. And George Reese is playing a very glorified water boy, and I'm sure he's happy about that. He'll be managing the side down there. We've got Villy Tony on the bench. We've got Connor McCarthy on the bench for us today. So well done to Connor. Long Island with a kickoff, good kickoff. Owen Murphy under it. So last time it was Dahi, this time it's Owen. And the brothers are trying to outdo each other. Owen gets the upper hand on that with an offload off the ground. Very nice offload. But it's been stolen, unfortunately, with Niall Dillon. And the big carry from Long Island. But again, Edgar's right there. He's been cleaned out. And we've got a big carry here from Kundu, making the counter tackle with Hugh Byrne. The referee blows the whistle, gives advantage to Long Island. Going straight to ground is the call. Lansdowne rucking did not maintain their feet. They went straight to ground. So the number 9 kicks to the corner, makes about 5 meters, but nonetheless Long Island have possession in the Lansdowne half as they come to defend. Rusty Walsh is already at the front of the line out, marking it up as Fakundu ties his laces and gets ready. It looks like they're going with a full line out option, and it looks like they've only got a couple of jumping options really at 2 and 4. We'll see how it goes here. It's been matched. It goes to the front, and it's not a straight throw. The ref blows it up quickly, and it looks like he's giving Luke the option, and I think Luke will probably take the scrum. I'm not sure if the scrum's the best option for us, because Long Island have had a very strong scrum, and they apply a lot of pressure to Lansdowne in the scrums in the first game in Yonkers, and also in the last couple that we've had here. It looks like we're just outside the 22. No, we're inside the 22, so we want a solid scrum here. And the ball to Hugh Byrne. He's standing at first receiver. And if Hugh gets the ball, he can kick it directly into touch. But it looks like he's communicating. It's been a smart swap there. He's also got Brandon Healy. He's got Brandon Healy standing to his left, which is also a good release valve because he's got a good boot on him too. But we go with the carry. Luke dismisses the first player, makes a couple of yards. The ball's not secured though, and Owen Murphy makes a pass, and Dylan Casey nudges us to close to the halfway line in what is a reasonably decent exit. On the sideline today is Ronan the Blockbuster Costello. I think that's the bulldozer is what they call him. It's nice to see him back out. And sorry, Costello. What's up?
They're just looking for boots for Darcy.
Okay, there's a size 12. My car's that first simple one there. There's a size 12 in a plastic bag at the back seat. There's a whole bunch of bags. It's in a plastic carry bag with 3 other boots, and they're blue Adidas, Moldies. Oh. I just checked off for a few minutes there, but I just turned around to see Fakundu with a good counter ruck, only to find an infringement that is been awarded to Long Island. So it looks like they're probably going to go for the corner here. And it's a good kick by the number 9, finds about 10 metres, and they're about 10 metres from the Lansdowne line. So Lansdowne are defending. Fakundu's rotating his shoulder there, so he probably took a knock there. And we probably need to look at a substitution just to see how he's carrying on. I'll ask George to manage that. First things first though, Lansdowne have to defend their line, and we've got the ascendancy, but we need to make sure we don't give Long Island any hope here, because most teams, when they find that they're in the 60-minute mark, they're still in touch with Lansdowne, they seem to turn up the pressure. So we need to make sure, and it's an early jump from Lansdowne there, and a good distribution from Long Island. Switch back on with the number 13. He's met by Niall Dillon with a tackle right on there. Luke is making an attempt to steal the ball, and he does a very good attempt in his usual latchdog way, where he doesn't let go of the ball once he's on it. And Owen Murphy is making sure no one messes with his captain there. Yeah, good steal from Luke Russell. The referee blows it up just to get a bit of law and order. So plays restarted with a whistle, and Hugh Byrne looks to get us out of our own 22. And he gives a very decent kick, and he's managed to stay. No, the ball's gone out. Ronan hasn't given anything there. Those are the wrong ones, mate. There's those are size 10.5. There's a 12 at the bottom in that same bag. There should be a 12 there. Nick, you might be going on for Fakundu in a bit, so just... So we've got a 6-man line out set up here. It's one of our set piece plays, so hopefully we can execute it at the halfway line. Dylan Casey standing at first receiver with Edgar on the inside. It's not straight in the throw from where I'm standing. So it'll be a scrum down for Long Island. And as I've said, they've had good scrums today. I think the throws will be a bit like Buffalo last week, where there was a lot of wind. There's a lot of wind here on the coast as well in Long Island. So the ball's going to be doing its own thing. Long Island are shaping up to look what looks like a crash or switch ball with the centres. It's an 8 pickup, and we're going to play out the back, and the centre comes in, and Lucas tried to steal, and he stealed it again, but the ref didn't have it that time. I thought it was another good clean steal from Luke Russell, but I would say that I actually think he did call for it fair, but good momentum from Long Island. Good overload there from Long Island, and it's a 2-on-1 scenario. Torres makes his tackle. Owen Murphy finds his way over there from midfield and makes the last tackle there. Then we've got a big ball carrier running across the field, but he's going to be met by Luke Russell low and hard. And then there's a steal from Fakundu, and he's strong. There should be an advantage there, and there should be a turnover there from Fakundu. Great work. Now we've got numbers. Shift it. Look, you got should have been given there. There's a switch there with Nick. And we've probably wasted the space and time there. Sometimes you get a little too much. Dylan with a little cheeky nudge. But maybe the first thing would have been to give and straighten. We all ran slightly across there, but good enterprising play from Lansdowne, and you can't fault that. They had a turnover in the midfield with a good tackle from Luke, which was straight down on it from Fakundu, which created a turnover, and then the right person you wanted getting the ball at first receiver was Dylan Casey. He looked up, assessed his options, and decided to show a dummy as they were running out of space. So Lansdowne defending a scrum here, just over the halfway line and 5 meters in field, so there's not much chance of a blindside carry. So they'll go open play, open side, and they'll look to get one of their big centres crashing. It looks like they keep playing into the 13 channel. They've always had a strong number 13, but he's no longer at the club from what I can see. But they've made a good 20 meters here as the boys are slowly getting back into defence. Rusty Walsh gets in, and there's another pass. It looks like they've lost their shape. Fakundu looks for another steal, and it looks like he's got the steal again with another steal for Fakundu. Now there's numbers. If we can just handle it well, and Luke is the right man to handle it. He's got speed, he's got pace, and he's offloaded to Dylan Casey, who'll show the dummy again, and Alex Griffin, the architect, is going to make his way in. If he can follow on the blind side, he's got legs, yes. He's made it right underneath the poles, that guy. He ran the marathon last year, so we know he's one of the fittest men in our team, and he's come off the back of a very good turnover from Fakundu. Again.
It's crazy. These guys used to have much closer matches with us. Anything can happen.
So right underneath the poles there, it's 12-0. Another try makes it 17-0 after some sustained pressure. And it looks like the kicking duties, now that they're right in front of the poles, have been turned over to Hugh Byrne. So we'll see how he gets on. Did Nick? What on Fakundu? Did he get the kick? I didn't see that, whether he got the kick or not, but there was a shout there, so I'm assuming he got the kick. The boys are seemingly enjoying themselves out there today in what's the last game of the season after a tough loss last week to Buffalo in Buffalo. We've got the sun in their faces, so I can see that the kickoffs haven't been easy, but the last two have been dealt with the Murphy brothers. They're very good in the kickoff area. It's been reversed this time, and Nick Alexander's underneath it, and he's a strong, dynamic player in the centres, and he's carried it and looked after it very well. And we've got structure again with Owen Murphy with the crash. Great line from him. He gets past the gain line, and we've managed to maintain the ball. It's on a plate there for Alex Griffin, and Dahi Murphy now with the show and go. The Murphy brothers are joined today by their dad. I think his name's John. He's on the sideline today. And Hugh makes a kick that's closer to the sideline. Well followed up by Torres, who makes sure... No, he slips off the tackle from the winger, or the fullback even. But the second tackle's made by... I can't see who that is. I think it's Nick... No, can't see. I think it was Dylan Casey. They've got an overlap now, and Owen Murphy's come over, and Eddie Ringler, they're trying to bring this player into the side. Dylan Casey finds himself there again, and the referee blows the whistle, goes back to the original advantage from the other side. So Long Island have gone coast to coast. They've gone from side to side, but they haven't made many meters, and they're trying to get some breakthrough. They've put Lansdowne in the pressure area inside the 22. They just haven't got any dividends from it, so we'll wait and see how they get on. We'll be looking to make some changes closer to the half time, but the body language looks good. The boys look like they got their tails up, and Long Island find a kick to touch, and they'll be throwing in the ball at the line out just inside the Lansdowne half. Oh, Murphy's walking back very, very gingerly, like he's been on a night out. And I can never really tell with him because he's always fully committed. He looks lost, but he's not. Good throw to the back of the line out from Long Island. They've got their first receiver there. He's a very good carrier. He's played centre for them and he's played flank for them today. He's playing in the flank. It's out the back door pass. The ball gets knocked on, which means Lansdowne will have a scrum down just in their own half and to the left of the field, so they might have room for a set piece play here. But again, first thing, they need to secure that scrum. Long Island were unfortunate there. The pass was just a little bit too low. It was a nice out the back door pass. But let's see what comes from this set piece here. It looks like we're shaping up to draw in their fullback. The ref giving some instruction there at scrum time. Scrum steady, ball's out the back at Luke's feet, and the ref blows up for driving up in the scrum from the props of Lansdowne. So Long Island have a slight reprieve here, and they get a little bit of a chance to march into Lansdowne territory. And the kick has been taken by the wind. It's made a good 10 metres just in front of me here as I stand at the pavilion. I can see the Lansdowne subs warming up, all wanting a piece of the action now, as the boys on the field have managed to get a 19-0 lead with 10 minutes on the clock. The last line out from the Long Island hooker was very good. They've gone for a short line out here, and it's been matched, and unfortunately that one's not straight. The referee's playing a little advantage. Actually, he's playing advantage to Long Island, and there's a good carry there, but the Murphy brothers do a tag team job on that carrier, and it's well picked up. The ref's calling no advantage. He sees that there's no advantage coming from Long Island, and it seems like Lansdowne have had back-to-back penalties here, and I think they're very fair calls. The penalties have been fair. Rusty Walsh meets him, but he gets a hand in the face, and he's still holding hands with that guy. That tackle this time by Owen Murphy was uncompromising, and again he's launched himself in there. I don't know whether he's hurt himself or whether he's doing his usual stuff, but he absolutely threw himself into that tackle, and he stopped all momentum there. Again, he worries me. Both of them do. So Lansdowne have got momentum again with 7 minutes to go. And Hewburn steps up to kick. And the kick has not made touch. And it's been well followed up by Eddie, puts pressure on the winger, who then gives it to the fullback, who's been hunted down by Dylan Casey and Greg Alexander. The other winger just kicks it, and we've got numbers now. Dahi shapes to go right, goes left, or the other way around, even shapes to go left and goes right. And now we've got numbers with Edgar with a carry. Hopefully we don't lose our structure. He makes a good bosh down the middle there, and there's a bit of miscommunication, but the advantage is there. If Hugh Byrne looks up quickly, we might have a bit of a quick tap, but Alex Griffin decides to play the ball back to Hugh to put us into the corner, which will probably lead to a line out and a set piece line out. And that it does. It's a line out just outside the Long Island 5 metre, just before their try line. So hopefully we can execute a good throw and Edgar can get a crash onto this. Just waiting for Rusty Walsh to anchor us down at the front of the line out in his usual way. And then we've got our 6 men in. Rusty's pivotal to this line out. Unfortunately, the first job hasn't been done, which is a secure line out ball, so Long Island get a chance to exit, and it's been picked up by their number 9. And Rusty's done a good job to hold him up, but they're still making yards, and they have the ball. He's done very well, the Long Island number 9. And their prop, who's a good carrier, has also made a couple of meters. And Lansdowne just have to be patient now, and it doesn't seem like they have been. The referee's blown his whistle. I'm not sure which way it's going to go. He's talking to both sides with just 5 minutes or 6 minutes to go before the half time. It looks like he's saying to Lansdowne they've got to roll away. That was the gesture. Oh no, it's a knock-on, he's saying. It was a knock-on from Lansdowne. And as a result, it's a Long Island scrum. Since there's not much pressure, I would have found it hard to see how that was a knock-on from Lansdowne, but maybe someone was trying to poach the ball and knocked it on. I'm not that close, so I can't make that call, and we just have to trust the referee's decision. He's the man in charge there. Long Island very low on their scrums. And Lansdowne have found their shape in the scrums, but Long Island been very strong. And there's a crash ball down the middle. Dylan Casey gets him down. Referee calls a high tackle. Bit of a tough call on Dylan, but it was a fair call. And again, the 15 makes a break, but he's held. Oh, he slips out of the tackle, and Dylan Casey scrambling back makes the tackle and releases the man. So very good job there. Rusty's trying to get back into play. Fakundu's looking for the steal, but this time he decides to counter-ruck and makes a good decision there. The scrum half, the fly half from Long Island makes a 5-meter gain, and they've kept the ball very well here. Dahi Murphy matches their carry from their second row, and he's trying to roll away for Kundu. And Owen Murphy launches himself in again to another tackle. As Lansdowne tried to roll out, Dylan calls up the line, and there's a little bit of a skip play there. Again, Dylan with the tackle and release. And Owen again with the charging in, and the referee's given advantage. Calls the knock on and gives the advantage. I would have liked a bit more advantage there since we have a 7-man overlap. Okay, maybe a 4-man overlap. As the last few minutes wind down here, I'm going to find my way to the touchline and organise the men for the second half and make the necessary changes. Have a discussion about what we need to do. The score stands at 17-0 from what I can see on the scoreboard. So it looks like Hugh Byrne didn't get the last conversion. And we are 2.5 minutes left on the clock with a Lansdowne scrum in the half. I'll stay for this moment because it's a great platform to do a set piece play. And so we'll see if we can execute this play. It looks like it's going to be Bluebird with Healy getting the ball, and it is Healy getting the ball. You've got a 2-on-1 scenario here. Hugh Byrne's wrapped up, but he makes yards and manages to offload. Healy offloads again, and Eddie Ringler's gone. He's gone strong, and he's going all the way. This is what we expect from Eddie. He's just a dynamic, bullish runner, and he's solid in defence. So Lansdowne take it in with 2 minutes on the clock, and the score now is 22-0 with the kick to come.
No, it's okay.